With Corkin's light, the strong will be made weak and the dark will be made light. I hate everything about this. I quit. Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome back to Strange Antiquities. The last part traumatized me deeply, you guys. And this is the end. This is the end of the road. This will be the last part no matter what. Let's see if I can get a good ending. Based on how I did last time, I'm not super optimistic, but that's fine. Jupiter will protect me, won't you, buddy? All right, let's go. End of day 16. Almost imperceptibly, the casket began to absorb the crepuscular power that had leached into the stone and the earth of its lightless tomb. What's crepuscular mean? I need to look that up. Alright, that looks like straight up just a gravestone, but it also looks like my clock. It's my clock! Huh, okay. How do I make... the answer is the phases of the... Oh. The half moon room. Now what do I do? That's the correct phase. I did have the room for that, unless it's like the gravestone, because that doesn't look like my clock. That's the shape of the clock. Maybe it's a gravestone with a half moon on it. Could it be that? Is there a gravestone with a half moon? There is. This one here. Oh my god! Oh my god, I got something right! The air is stifling in the darkness and the claustrophobia of the tunnels almost overwhelms me, but I press on. I remind myself there are few who venture down here, which means the chances of an interesting find are higher. It doesn't take long for my search to bear fruit. Oh, you're evil looking. Nothing to remark. Carved detailing, sharper than it looks. Gold, wood, oak if I'm not mistaken. Oh, also I rearranged stuff again. So this is all my unidentified stuff now. It's quite crowded, but also everything else was also quite crowded. So Thaddeus White. The Witherance was a terrible idea. I've only got to make things worse. I wish Eli was back. He'd know what to do. Some years ago now, a friend brought an item to me, a black casket, and I learned it was a dark article. I should have brought it to Eli right then and there, but I knew he would want to destroy it. I'm a collector of things. It seemed too important to allow it to be destroyed, but I see now how naive it was now. Yeah, this is all your fault, Thaddeus. The casket is far more dangerous than anything I've come across before, and now I hear they are looking for it with their black eyes. Either I need to keep them out of the museum or bring the casket here to Strange Antiquities and hide it in one of its secret places. Do I want responsibility for this? I don't even know what I'm being asked to choose between here. So Dread Vivant lets you handle dangerous artifacts. Can siphon power away from one for a time. The powers rising up off of a Dread Vivant is subtle but noticeably invigorating. They represent the balance of life and death, good and evil, hope and despair. So presumably we need that if we want to bring it here. A Lunima, also called a moon pool or heart of tranquility, harnesses the power of the elements to create an aura of unease. Can be used to keep people away from places where they're not welcome. There's a superstition among thaumaturges that says a Lunmina should not be used when the moon is full. It's not where the idea came from. What is the actual phase of the moon right now? How do I know that? I feel like I want the Dread Vivant, right? I don't want to be attacked by these people, but something that minimizes the power of the artifact, especially because I don't know the phase of the moon. The power is subtle but noticeably invigorating. All right, well, let's try and figure out what that would be. Weather related. Clay, probably not you. Moon and witches, probably not. Wixic aura on a tin item. Water, stone, air and water. Look, it's probably one of these. And it has an invigorating aura. There's something unusual, I can't put my finger on it. Causes me to reflect on my mortality. Nothing. Nothing. Unsettling. Invigorating. A feeling of disquiet. To me, the fact that it says life and death makes me think I'm looking for something that has two separate metals in it, two separate stones in it. Like, this has two stones in it, but they're not life and death. I think Bloodstone and Vivianite are both dark. Wood and gold. Gold is the sun. This one is life and death in that it has a skull and a flower, but all I get is something unusual that I can't put my finger on, which isn't invigorating. Not hot. I mean, that's it. Energetic. I was going off inner perception, not sense of touch. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's going to be the one we want. The dread. Let's just confirm it's the one I want. Lets me handle a dangerous item. I don't want it here. I genuinely don't want the thing here, but... Thanks, mate. I don't know if I want to sort this with the rest. I think I want to put it down here. Just... I need to remember that it's there. But also this is the last part, so I shouldn't have to remember past today. Unless I really mess this up. Hey David, how's the weather? There's an uneasy quiet in town today. There aren't many people out and about. I'm heading straight home as soon as I'm done with my deliveries. I've recently come into possession of a number of texts on the subject of arcane artifacts. You're welcome to them if they're of any use to you. If I don't hear from you, I'll donate them to the library across the street. This feels like a trap. Where's the library? Wordsworth Library is 26. So here. So one of these... Oh, I was going to say one of these three, but probably this one because it's... Several of the scrolls look promising, but they're written in the Draidic script and my understanding is too rudimentary to make use of them. If Verona was around, I'm sure she could translate them, but she isn't and she can't. That's fine, because I have an item that lets me translate stuff, right? And I gave it to that man so he could read the thing. No, that's the one I decided not to use. There's a lot listed under mind. It's going to be one of these. I don't remember. Nope. I'm just going to have to flick through the book. I remember the item, but I don't remember what it was called. So I'm just going to flick through until I find it. Okay. This one, Babelia. And luckily it was at the start of the alphabet. They could be used to aid with translation of foreign texts. Babelia. Okay, that's the item I need. Here we go. This spiky thing. The effect of the Babelia makes my head spin and I close my eyes tight for a moment as my mind catches up. The pages swell and blur in front of me, letters and words floating in and out of focus. After a time, I find I can read them, though it takes some effort and I feel drained as I reach the end. What is shadow? And something that I couldn't... Let me just have a quick look at what those were, because we're at the point now where it matters, you know? So we got water's shadow. It's alleged that a water's shadow can be used to pass through solid matter, but the art has long faded from memory. They produce a faint thaumic field. Interesting. Bloodbeck, here we go. It was once thought that these objects could be used to commune with the dead, but it's now widely believed such a thing isn't possible. I mean, we had an item that we gave someone that let them commune with the dead, so we know it is. It's not known where the strange voices that emanate from a Bloodbeck originate. There's some who believe they're the voices of the nameless gods. I mean, this thing has a lot of voices. I'm gonna guess that might be the Bloodbeck. It's the only one I've got that I can hear voices. I don't know, obviously, but I'll just put that on there for now. It wasn't an ambush. There you go. Hey, kitty. Anna Bryant. With all that's been happening at Undermere, I picked the worst week possible to lose my psychic charm. I hope you have one I can replace it with. I have something I labelled as a bright charm. I do. I labelled it bright charm. A Bryic charm is more correct. A powerful item that offers hope in times of worry, protection in times of darkness, and wisdom in times of uncertainty. Wields the power of the maiden, the mother, and the crone, the weak and triple goddess. Now, I will show you how I have come to the conclusion this is the item. So if we go to the very back of this book, there is... the triple goddess, which is this symbol moon with two other moons. And we have an item that is actually shaped like that. So it's this one here. Like I said, I labeled it wrong. I've written bright charm on it instead of Bryic. But it is the correct item. Argyle, a vessel of the earth used in various Draidic rituals. I mean, I've got a theory that might be that one. I'm just saying. It's giving Argyle, you know? I don't know if that's how it was spelled. That'll do. Alrighty. That was quick and easy. Eli, boss, you're back! Yes! Oh, thank goodness. I've got the story to tell you. I'm sorry I didn't intend to be away for so long. I trust the shop has been not too much trouble to look after in my absence. I've learned a lot from my time in Oxford. There's a powerful dark article here in Undermere called The Nalian Casket. And now you're telling me my foolish half-wit of a brother has had it in his museum the whole time. I am telling you that. I know how to destroy it, but it's not going to be easy. Whatever happens, it must not be opened. We need to create a pillar of Caloris. From what I gather, such a feat has not been attempted in over 500 years. I just hope there's enough time to prepare. I'm afraid I can't stay, but I'll be back as soon as I can. My guy! You're leaving me to do this? Okay. A pillar of Caloris is a powerful blast of energy that can consume the darkness. In my opinion, it's the safest way to destroy powerful dark articles. It can only be produced at a place of significant thormic convergence. Strength and weakness, light and darkness align the opposing powers at opposing compass points. With Corkin's light, the strong will be made weak and the dark will be made light. I hate everything about this. I quit. What am I supposed to do with this? Strength and weakness, light and darkness align the opposing powers at opposing compass points. With Corkin's light, the strong will be made weak and the dark will be made light. Corkin's might, is that an item? I felt like that was an item. Strength and weakness, light. Now, if this game works like the last game, we won't get the very last item we need until right before. So we have Fortinance, which is literally strength. And there was an item that caused weakness as well, right? Why am I looking here? I should be looking in here. Fortinance enhances physical strength. So this one is strength, because that symbol literally means strength. Was there one that the symbol was like strength upside down or something? That sounds vaguely familiar to me. So weakness, this one, the triangle with the line through it. I have that. Witherance. Literally, that is the symbol for strength and the symbol for weakness. So, strength and weakness, light and darkness. Do I have any... If it's literally... If we're going off symbols, is there a symbol for light and a symbol for darkness? There are gemstones for light and darkness. I don't think there are symbols for light and darkness. So, if I check the gemstones, that would be amber, fire and light, heat and life. This is darkness. So, maybe onyx. Night and darkness versus dark stone for dark purposes. So that's not necessarily dark purposes, isn't darkness. So onyx and amber. Light and darkness. I mean, that's got onyx on it. We've got a few with amber on them. But the sun bond does actually create light, because that would be very literally light. A sun bond is designed to be carried discreetly. They carry the warmth of the light in the sun. So yeah, it's going to be the sun bond. And do I have an item that creates... There was like a Tenebra cloak or something. That sounds like darkness. Let's see. Tenebran cloak creates a sphere of darkness. A single stone set in bronze. I could be completely going off, spending a ton of time on this, and it could be completely not this. But I figure I'll feel more prepared. Tenebran cloak. Look, it's a theory. It's theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Isabel Stowe. I've had my energy drained by some disturbing evil power. For days now I've felt tired and frail, and today I found something that horrified me. Beneath my bed I discovered a carved wooden effigy with a strange symbol painted on it. I don't know who's done this to me, but all I want for now is to lift this feeling of weakness. Weakness, you say? Poison, hallucinations... I just keep checking if they have the blue tint on the eyes, because I'm like, what if they're just imagining it? Because it could be like waking hallucinations, you know? I don't think it's any of those. Oh. Wooden effigy with a symbol. So like that would cause... Do I try this? If we're working on the theory, it's the opposite. Yes! A symbol of strength that's made of stone. Okay. So now I can make that blue. I mean, I was reasonably confident already. Okay, well, that's surprising. I would like a bloodbeck. The nameless ones are restless. I'm ready to hear their voices. I guess we can confirm if I'm right. Yay. I'm going to put you down there with the other creepy necklace. Hey, Thaddeus. I went to move the casket, but it's gone. What do we do? I heard Eli's back in town, but he hasn't come to see me, and if he's not here, I don't know where to find him. Oh God, what do we do? You lost it! All right, kitty. It's the final day. It festered and pulsated until it could no longer be contained. Some part of it reached out from the darkness, creating eyes so that it might find itself, and hands so that it might open itself. The casket wanted to be open. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. What? Like a library? We aren't books and scrolls. What do you bet the next one is, like, Strange Library? We've got Strange Horticulture and Strange Antiquities. What do you bet that the next one is, like, a library? Assuming they make another game in the series, but I hope they do. Although this game got way harder than Strange Horticulture, so, you know, maybe I'm not smart enough for a sequel. It could be the castle. Is there a library here? There is. Ooh, entering the library, I'm drawn to a dark alcove round to the right, bearing the title Esoterica and Arcana. I'm sure there's much to learn here, but sadly, a cursory glance is all I have time for today. Piled up on a reading desk, I find books on ornithology alongside bestiaries of the old world. You can learn a lot about the person from the books they read. Okay. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. So below, like, below, or below, like, the floor underneath? We've already done the tin room. What does that symbol mean? Is that symbol on the map anywhere? How do I know where in the library the esoteric books are? Or maybe I'll look up this symbol just in case. Mercury, Quicksilver. I'm just trying to find this symbol, the one that's on the spine of the book. The circle with the eye. And I'm not seeing it in here anywhere, which maybe means it's just an art thing rather than a meaningful. But in this game, I feel like everything has been meaningful. But I'm not seeing it. The closest we've got is like something like that, but it's not right. A lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. Let's go back. It's just showing the entrance here. Entering the library, an alcove to the right. So this way. So maybe if it's this way, that would be one of these two. If it's the alcove, let's try this one. I'm wasting my time. I'm gonna have another guess. I'm gonna try the other room. I mean, it could also be that or that. Nope. I like dice. Is it possible it's this room? Like, I tried every single one of these four, but I didn't try this one. And the library might reach that far. Are you serious? Ugh! I did everything right, except that I didn't map the first floor onto the ground floor properly. Awesome! As I open the door, I'm hit behind the musty smell of damp. This room hasn't been entered for some time. The corner of the room is piled high with scrolls of parchment and old books, but under the debris, I find something of interest. My character's not interested in books, you guys. Only the books she already has. We've got 4 books we like. What are you? What are you? Nothing. Nothing. Because I'm kind of assuming I need this. Turquoise. That's like water. Hang on, wait. Wrong book. That's like the water stone, right? Pale blue or turquoise, a stone of water. I reckon this is going to be the ship one. There's one that's like common items made from materials with connection to the ocean. They began a superstition, simple objects made by sailors and fishermen to keep their boats safe. I reckon it's that because that looks like a board from a ship to me. Ooh. And the water thing. So I think that's a shin. I don't know how that would be helpful to me now unless the chest is on a ship, but you can go into my collection of question marks. Oh, the boss is back. Hi, boss. The museum was ransacked last night. I went looking for my brother, but he's nowhere to be found. The good news is they didn't find what they were looking for. I moved the casket myself and hid it here in one of Strange Antiquities' vaults. It's safe for now, but we can't leave it here for long. I have more to prepare, but I've left instructions on how to access the vault in the desk drawer. Like one of these. Aha! A candle that gives off no light. An anchor that's never touched the ocean. A finger but not of flesh. Candle that gives off no light is going to be the Cussick candle. Or Carrick's candle. An anchor that's never touched the ocean. That's literally going to be the Shin, right? Or not? No. Maybe. Just because it's connected to the ocean, that doesn't mean... In fact, it's probably not, because this thing would have touched the ocean, the Shin. So it's probably not the Shin. That is actually me just looking for a use for that item. It could be an anchor, like, spiritual type anchor, like the one that... There was an item that let you, like, astrally project or something. There was one that... It was a Mentic item. Here's the one I was looking for, the shadow anchor. It also makes sense because of the name. So it anchors you when you are astral projecting, or like shadow casting as they call it in this game. So a shadow anchor for the second item, which actually does look like an anchor, so that checks out. And the third item is a finger but not of flesh. Ugh. Something with the word finger in the name, because the other two have both had it in the name. Witch's finger? They're said to be the 7 digits of the Witch of Undermere, so probably not then. Unless the witch's finger isn't actually, like, as it says it's said to be, but doesn't mean it is. They're capable of inflicting pain. Do I have something that could be the witch's finger? And look, I probably do. Do you give me an owie? Sharper than it looks. I mean, let's try it, I guess. Okay, that didn't do anything. I mean, I'm kind of at that point. If those two are correct, I could just plonk things in there, but I'd rather not. Have I got anything that looks like a finger? I mean, there's the one that you use to draw the blood. The Orphid's Spire has fingery things. This one is flesh, we know that. This one? No, that's the one I thought was the witch's finger. The Amphibian Talon, and I'm pretty sure that actually is, again, flesh. They press the tip of a talon against their cheekbone. Look, this is the only one I come back to because it has the word finger in it. So it's said to be the 7 digits of the Witch of Undermere, but if it's correct, then it's not actually 7 digits. But I don't think I have a theory labeled for witch's finger, so I would have to figure that out. Which of these it could be. I mean, I don't think I ever figured this out. Like, I think I had a quest to give that item at one point, but it was one of those you can choose 2 choices. And I chose not to choose that choice, so... Which means it'll be something I've had for a long time. Like this. Could that be it? Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Should I be unlocking this? Shouldn't I just leave it hidden and leave it to my boss? Did I mess that up? Oh, did I click leave instead of clicking the right button? Yeah, I did. Uh-oh. Am I gonna get possessed now? I mean, I solved it. Maybe I should put it back. Rough. I have nothing to remark. Rough. Blackened wood. It's really well hidden, you guys. No one will know. Okay. Hi, David. The lake has turned black! As Omen's guides say, that's probably quite a bad one, but the mail won't deliver itself. Oh, bless you, sir. EB. So this is the boss, Eli. I found this note in an old writing desk up at Gleeston Castle. I expect it will mean more to you. Fear in autumn, rising in winter. Feels all too prescient as we hurtle towards winter and a terrible unknowable fate. I mean, that does mean something to me. But why is he writing to me? Fear. All right, what's the symbol for fear? So the... All right, that one. Fear in autumn. And autumn is that, I'm reasonably sure. Rising in winter. I searched the room at the foot of the Western Tower quite thoroughly before finding a stash of papers. To my dismay, they are largely the scrawlings of a madman, but among the nonsense is some valuable information. Ooh, Storm Ward and something else. Not helpful. Let's check the book real quick. Protection against the elements. Made of bronze and iron. I think I actually know which one that is. Oh wait, I can label this now, right? Witch's finger. I know it is, but also I never actually locked it in, so let's pop that there. This is weather related and it's bronze, so this is going to be it. Storm Ward. I don't anticipate this being helpful in the final confrontation, but you never know. I'll do it anyway. And what was the other thing? What was the other thing? Light of Corchin Luna Manus? This is new. According to Whitlock, these are lighter than an Evercant by half. Not exactly the most useful insight. They're carried by desert nomads who use them to conjure precious water from the cool night air. That's not necessarily going to be the item. That's going to be the water in that the nomads are carrying. Like that's their water skin or whatever. Lighter than an Evercant by half. Probably this. But let's grab an Evercant. Actually, it could be this one. Or not. Too heavy. So you are 1 pound. So I'll put you there. If you are half, then you are the item I'm looking for. So we will label you. And I will pop you into my labeled collection is starting to spill over a little, but that's all right. Hi, Barton. I've discovered the missing piece of the puzzle. There's an ancient shrine to the nameless gods at the Skull of Blencathra. It seems humanity tried worshipping them once, long ago, before we learned how little they care for us. We must take the casket there. Whatever happens, we must not allow it to be opened. This could be one of those 3 choices situations where I can do what Eli wants and destroy it. I can take it to the nameless gods and sacrifice it, or I can open it. I could be wrong though. It's time to end this now. Bring the casket to the pit. So yes, I've got 2 choices. Pit, you say. I'm gonna do what my boss is telling me to do. Not that he's been helpful to me at all, but that's fine. 20. Why can't I see 20? There's 21. Oh, here it is. The sun is low in the sky as we arrive at the pit, casting a warm light across the treetops and the open fields. A solitary raven cries out from the tree line, and I look to the skies, but they are empty. The pit itself is an ominous sight that the otherwise serene atmosphere can do nothing to diminish. It's a scorched black hole, perhaps 5 meters in diameter, that has an unnatural look to it. This is a site of thormic convergence. It's no simple thing to destroy an object of this kind. We need to set up opposing powers at opposing compass points, strength and weakness, light and darkness. And finally, we need the light of Corchin to bind them. So not the casket. Also, how do I know which compass points? I've got the items, I think. The opposing powers at opposing points. Maybe it doesn't matter. Strength, weakness, light, darkness. And then what did it say? Something about light of Corchin. Was that it? I could be really messing this up. I'm so scared. Despite appearances, these Noctic items have no connection to the League of the Amphisian Heart. Objects of considerable power that can turn darkness to light, fear to joy. Corchin is a god, right? Corcina. Okay, she is the goddess of the earth creation and rebirth. And the Ossic ring. Macabre objects originally made as offerings to the goddess Corchin, but the practice fell out of favor as they waned. Corchin is the serpent goddess. I am so scared. I am not confident in this at all. They have no connection to the League of the Amphisian Heart. Okay. Amphisian Talon. Do the Amphisian Heart people really like snakes? Because I'm leaning towards this, right? Or this. Both of these it could be because Corchin's the goddess of serpents. Is there anything else I can do to tell them apart from one another? Noctic items. Okay, I can check their auras. Why is my boss getting me to do all this? Surely he knows. I mean, I know a lot by this point, but surely he knows, right? He should know this. He should be like, it's that one. Noctic. Okay, of the night. That stone is night, so I'm leaning towards this at the moment. But let's confirm the auras, just in case that narrows it down. That one. Swirlies. You have swirlies. You do not. So, based on that, and I know that the obsidian is not obsidian, the onyx is a stone of the night and darkness. I'm gonna assume... back to text. Let's double check. Light of caution. I think that's it. Strength and weakness, light and darkness. But which directions? Does it matter? Because that's strength and that's weakness. That's light and that's darkness. Oh, guys, I'm scared. Eli inspects my work. His face shows little emotion, but he seems satisfied. By now the sun has finished setting and only a hint of red afterglow remains in the darkening sky. The raven croaks his mournful cry once again, but this time there's a reply and then another. I look up and see several dark shapes circling above. Quickly now, they're here. I spin around to follow Eli's gaze and my pulse quickens as I look out across the field. A large group of shadowy figures is walking steadily towards us. We can't see their faces at this distance in the low light, but I'd be willing to bet that every one of them has pools of midnight for eyes. In the sky above, the ravens continue to grow in number and their calls and cries get louder and louder. I look down at the black object in my hands, such a small thing, and yet its seductive power is impossible to ignore. It wants to be opened. Suddenly, it feels inevitable. The casket now! But I'm not sure I want to give it to him. Wixit cord, Nalian casket. Wixit cord, Wixit cord, Wixit cord. The casket, I assume, is me just opening it. They do not produce a Wixit field. They cause a freezing effect in the body, earning the name Medusa stones. So that would freeze Eli? I don't think freezing seems useful here. I feel like that's the wrong choice. So... The wave of intoxicating power washes over me, but I hold strong against it. I hand over the casket and together we begin activating the items arranged around the pit. Working as fast as we can, it still takes longer than we'd like, and when I look up again, the thaumaturge has fear in his eyes. We're too late. The mob is upon us! One of them grabs Eli and tries to wrestle the casket from his hands. I rush across to help him, but it's no use. They're all around us. The man tears the casket free and it clatters to the floor, skittering towards the edge of the pit before coming to rest on the precipice. A grey-haired woman stoops to pick it up, and I'm surprised to find I recognise her. It's Verona Green, the occult scholar. The mob cheers, but Verona turns towards me, and I'm no longer afraid. Her eyes are ringed with darkness, but they're not black, so me giving her the item that strengthened her is the deciding thing that has helped her to help us now. Back from the dead. She winks at me and throws the casket into the pit. At the same moment, Eli activates the light of caution. The time stands still, and then there's a rush and a roar as a swirling vortex of blue-green light races up out of the pit. Woohoo! The casket is sent soaring up into the night sky, where it seems to hang for a moment. Ow, that hurt my ears. Turning slowly in the air until with a shrieking, splintering crash, it shatters into 1,000 pieces, and then there is nothing but smoke and the smell of ozone, and all is quiet. It's been a few weeks since the casket was destroyed, but I'm still riding high on the elation and relief from that night. Everything seemed to come together right when it needed to, and somehow we avoided a terrible catastrophe. Those who were under the casket's spell were released almost immediately. They remember nothing from their ordeal, but there seems to be no lingering effects, and Dr. Robertson says they've all made a full recovery. It's rare for Eli to express much emotion, but even he congratulated me on my strength and resolve in the face of such darkness. He too felt the allure of the casket and was worried it would overwhelm me. He told me with a hint of pride that I would make a fine thaumaturge. What do you mean would? What do you mean would? I think I do, Eli. Eli won, a catastrophe avoided. Okay, so... let's see. Eli, alive, proud of your abilities as a thaumaturge. Verona Green, alive. She found the strength to resist the casket. Rebecca Rose, alive. She's able to paint again and enjoying the quiet life. Some of these people are people I saw like twice. Baron Porter, alive. Glad that everything turned out well, even if you did ignore his plan. Yeah, well, deal. Edmund Bishop, alive. He stayed at Castle Gleaston and weathered the storm. Francesca Robertson, alive. She's glad that her patients recovered, but saddened by the one she could not save. Bonnie Robertson, insane. Her thoughts are scattered after being sliced with the diverging hook. Audrey Bell, deceased. Murdered by her own bloodthirsty followers when they saw her weakness. I mean, I set her up for that. Jack Hungersford, insane. He never recovered after falling deeper into the trance. His mind is forever broken. Thaddeus White, alive, ashamed of the part he played. Simone Green, alive and ready for a new challenge. Foreshadowing for a new game. Jupiter, rescued, fully recovered from his catnapping ordeal. I don't like the fact he's here, because that means if I had chosen the wrong option, he might have been forever lost, to Bonnie. So I could have, for example, prioritized Bonnie. She might not be now insane, but my cat might be no more. So I think I got the good ending, to be honest. I feel like that's the best possible outcome, except for that guy who was insane. Okay, now I have the credits. How exciting. Now, I know there's going to be some post-credit stuff to identify the rest of the items, but you can probably hear in my voice, I am trashed. I'm actually going to end this one here. I got the good ending. But I'm going to wrap this part up here. Let's just click this to take us back to the shop. I'm going to wrap this one up here, you guys. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.